Hey, welcome back to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. I'm your host, Coach Zach. I'm here with CJ Hunt, aka Silly C.
Yo.
And Coach Brandy, sweet as candy, Coach Brandy.
Hello.
How we doing?
Good.
Good.
Solid.
Okay. I have a client of the week. I know, like sometimes we just struggle to like remember to do this or come up with somebody that we want to highlight, but I want to give somebody a shout out. So, and it goes right along with what we're talking about today. So I want to give a shout out to Rita Metcalf because she's been doing a transformation program, and her journey was it got off to a rocky start. So she first week didn't even start her program. And I was like, hey, what's going on here? Like, you need to get going. And she started in week 2, which was now week 1, right? Mm-hmm. And she has now been going strong for 17 weeks.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And in 17 weeks, she has completely transformed her life outside of the gym, which is kind of what we're talking about today is, you know, the things that it takes to get results that aren't in the gym. Right. And so I just want to give her a shout out because she just got back from vacation and she stuck to her program while on vacation. And I think that's a really good indication of the transformation, right? We call it a transformation program, the transformation that can happen with somebody's mindset where when somebody gets thrown out of their routine, their regular routine, it usually everything like falls apart and then they're kind of like starting over when they get back.
Right.
And so the fact that somebody can leave their normal environment and stick to everything is incredible. And I think it's a testament to what we're going to kind of talk about. So shout out to Rita. Yeah. Great job.
Way to go, Rita. That's awesome.
Awesome work, Rita.
Yeah. Okay. So today, like, you know, talked about is outside of the gym. And when it comes down to it, right, we're a training facility. People come in with the mindset of, I'm going to work out. I need to do personal training. And we don't really think of it as training. We think of it as an entire program where fitness is one element of the program. Nutrition would be another piece. Accountability would be a huge piece, right? Mm-hmm. Because people aren't going to do it on their own. But then there's all these other things too, like their sleep and mindset and supplementation and right. Some TLC and stress management, all these different things that play into somebody being able to get results. And if you work out for 5 hours a week, that is less than 3% of your week, 168 hours in a week, right? So 163 hours outside of the gym. If you're not doing the right things outside of the gym, I've got news for you. That 3% of your week is not going to be enough for you to get results.
Right.
And it's a really major pain point, I think, in our industry, because the workout piece is fun. And even for people that don't like working out, they love coming here and working out, right? And it's fun. And there's somebody that is telling you exactly what to do and coaching you through it. And you're there with your friends and you're having a great time. When you leave, there's nobody there but you. If you're not getting coaching and help and focusing on that side of things. So I want to make it really, really clear here for people that are only focusing on the 3%. Are you getting results? Ask yourself that. And are you happy with those results? Because I know for a fact that a lot of you aren't. Mm-hmm. And it's because that 3% is not enough. Your hour in the gym 5 times a week if you're working out 5 times a week, is not enough. Okay, I'm done with my rant. I was just going there. Go ahead, Brandy.
It's true. I mean, people come in and they work hard in the gym, but really the hard work starts when you leave the gym, and it's what you're doing the rest, that 97% of, the rest of your day. That's where the hard work comes in. And if you really want to see the results, that's where you're going to see the results. If you're doing good with those other things, the nutrition, getting the sleep that you need, you're properly fueling for your workouts. You have the support system and the accountability in place that you need to get those results that you're after. And then the mindset as well. That's key too. You have to have the right mindset in place to order to, work really hard and achieve those goals that you have set for yourself.
Yeah. We talked about functional, like what is functional training, a couple episodes ago, and what is functional nutrition? What is functional lifestyle like training? We talked about when you're training in the gym, what's functional is what you're training for. Like, what are you trying to accomplish? Does your training move you towards that? Right. And it's like, a marathon runner is not capable of doing powerlifting, right? Because that's not what they're training for. They're training for running long distances. A power lifter is not capable of going out and running 20 miles. The same principle applies to your nutrition and to your sleep and to your habits. If you don't have any energy and you feel bad, well, you're not training to have energy. Right? You're tired and fatigued all the time. Well, guess what? You're training your body to be tired and fatigued all the time because you're not getting enough sleep. You're depleted in nutrients. Like you're eating stuff that's causing an inflammatory response in your body. And now your body's like a result of those lifestyle habits, right? And those nutritional habits. So really it's input output at the end of the day. The mindset is from people is that I can do the nutrition part on my own. Again, how's that working for you?
Right.
Because you can't, and you're proving it over and over again. Right. Yeah. And so yes, the fitness piece has to be there. That's kind of the catalyst. But if you're like, yeah, I can do this nutrition part on my own. It's like, how come you haven't then for the last 25 years?
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, 3% of your week is going to be enough to motivate you to fix the other 163. That's not the case. And it maybe for a couple of weeks, maybe you'd be like working out and you'd be feeling good. And then all of a sudden you're going to start to get used to the fact that you're working out. It's going to be a part of your routine, which is a good thing. But then the motivation, because it's not new, it's now routine, is going to fade, and you're going to slip back into those old nutritional habits because you don't have a plan. You don't have somebody coaching you and helping you along the way.
I love that you said lifestyle. Like you have to have that, all the different pieces of the puzzle coming together to make it a part of it. Anybody can go do anything for 3% of their week and, be successful at it, at least to a certain point. But if you're not making it a part of everything or your thought process and everything that you do, you're not going to get those results. I mean, you can, just with nutrition alone, going from taking a salad or having a cookie, it's something that is the thought that you're having. If it's not part of your lifestyle, you're going to grab that cookie every time. If you're thinking about it, well, this is going to hurt my workout, you'll go more for the salad or say more protein, which is probably more comparative to working out.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I guess question for you guys as I'm thinking through this, it's like, why is it that people feel the need to have somebody coaching them in the fitness realm, but they think that they can do it? They think they can do the nutrition and the lifestyle piece on their own. Like, where does that mindset come from? I'm genuinely asking because I've got some ideas, but I'm just curious. Like, I want your feedback on it. I'm curious what you guys think, because that thought process to me, I guess maybe it's like, well, I haven't been working out my whole life, but I've been eating my whole life. So therefore I kind of know how to do it.
Right. That's kind of what I was thinking. I think people don't think of it as eating as fueling for, their daily activities, for their workouts. I think, you think of it as just, I'm just having a meal or eating, and not thinking of it in terms of how are you fueling your body to be able to perform or to see, the outcomes, the results that you're working for. And so I think, you grow up eating, and, it just comes, you have your daily habits in place, but you really need to have a coach to help you assess those habits and help you to make changes in areas where you might not even realize you need to make changes. I think a lot of times people are really surprised when they talk about or they look at what they're eating in a day. Like if they start tracking it for the first time, and
they have no
really
idea,
are thoughtful.
right?
Yeah, they have
totally
no
different.
idea. Yeah,
Totally different than what they think.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very different. So that's very surprising, and they don't know how to make those changes. And so that's where a coach can come in to help them, assess what changes need to be made, and then, kind of guide them toward that process of making those daily habitual changes. And then over time, we'll start to see the results.
Yeah. I think they're looking for that magic fix. So they don't want to change a whole bunch of different things in their life. They want to change one thing and get the results that they're looking for. And a lot of times, if you've gotten to that point where you're looking for some help, it's not one thing that's going to make the big change. It's a lot of different options or items that come together that make that change. It goes back to a little bit of everything.
So you're saying that in the psychology of this is that in people's minds, the workout is the magic pill.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think.
It's not the program. They're not looking at it like, okay, I need to fix all these areas of my life.
What's the one thing I can fix?
It's the fitness side of things. That's really interesting to me, because I hadn't thought about it that way. In those terms of like, yes, the fitness is the magic pill. Like that's the thing that I'm going to take, and then all of a sudden I'm going to get fit. It's also like the easiest thing to probably fix. I don't know easiest, but most obvious.
Right.
Most obvious, right? And so when somebody's going to make a change, I guess they think about, it's like I would parallel it to going on vacation, right? Like I really want to go to Costa Rica, but I live in Montana, let's say. Okay, for me to go on vacation in Costa Rica, I got to drive to the airport 2 hours. Then I got to fly to Salt Lake City for 45 minutes, but there I have an 18-hour layover. And then I have to fly to Atlanta, where I'm have a 7-hour layover. And then I get to fly from Atlanta to Costa Rica, sitting next to a family of 4 with a crying baby behind me and a kid that repetitively kicks my seat. All of a sudden, Costa Rica doesn't look so good, right? Because the trip to like the process of getting there is like, man, is it going to be worth it for me to go on this vacation? And so instead, it's like, well, I guess I'll just drive like 4 hours to the beach and, spend like 3 days there and then drive back. And I didn't get the vacation that I wanted.
Right.
Right. And it wasn't fulfilling. It wasn't satisfying to me. And I get back and I still want to go to Costa Rica. So the pain to go through to get there, I focused on that as opposed to the vacation, and it wasn't worth it. So instead I compromised and I still went on vacation, but I didn't do what I was hoping, like I set out to do initially.
Right.
And I think it's the same exact way. Like if somebody comes in and they're like 10, 15 pounds overweight and they're like, haven't worked out in a while, like you probably don't really need all that much help with your nutrition. Otherwise, you're telling me you haven't worked out in 6 years and you're only 10, 15 pounds overweight. You can probably lose that just by working out, right? Mm-hmm. You come in 40 pounds overweight, 30 pounds overweight. Guess what? You got to go through the pain if you want to get to the vacation.
Right.
Right. And I wouldn't sell it that way because that's not appealing.
Right.
But people don't want to go through that pain. So instead they're only doing half the program.
Right.
Yeah.
And
well, not even half, 3%.
3% of the right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
3%.
And they're getting 0%
Yeah.
of the results.
Yeah.
As far as what they want, right? Like they're going to feel better and, be able to move better, be stronger, probably have a little increase in energy, I would imagine. But when somebody's trying to lose weight, in order for you to lose weight, you have to address those other things.
Right. You're not going to see change. Like imagine, compare it to anything else in your life that you want, like a vacation or whatever. If you only do 3% of what's needed to accomplish that goal, you're not going to accomplish that goal. So you really have to work on all the other factors that come into play to, achieve the results that you want to see.
Yeah. Brandy, you mentioned mindset.
Yeah.
And we have done podcast episodes just strictly on mindset, right? You mentioned that a couple of times. So in this, as it refers to this topic, like walk me through your thought process there on what it means to have the right mindset to accomplish your goals and to have like this holistic approach.
Yeah. So I think when I'm speaking about mindset, I think it's really having that frame of mind to identify what what your goal is. So what is your why? What are you working toward? That deep emotional why for the change that you're trying to seek. And then digging into that and then making sure that you have your mindset in a way to where you can really work toward achieving that goal. So that positive mindset, keeping your goal in, the forefront at all times, and knowing that, yes, it's going to be difficult. It might be challenging, but you have to have that. I think of it as like a positive mindset, growth mindset, willingness to make change, and work really hard to get to where you want to go. So it's, and I think it encompasses not only your own mindset, but then making sure that you have the support system and the accountability. So people around you supporting you, helping you, holding you accountable. So having those other pieces in place too, that will help you along the way.
Yeah. So basically what you're saying is focusing on the vacation, not necessarily like being prepared for the trip to get there.
Yeah.
And being realistic about that.
Right.
But maintaining your focus on that end goal.
Yes.
And having somebody to redirect you when you start to get off course. And I think that's the key, right? I think fitness, nutrition, accountability, like that's how I would describe our program, right? There's some other things in there as far as like, sleep and lifestyle factors, but really just by fitness and nutrition, you can accomplish a lot if you stay on track,
right?
And you're consistent. And in order for you to stay on track and be consistent, you need the accountability. And when somebody comes in and meets with us, by them coming in and meeting with me, it's a clear indication that they haven't been able to stick with whatever it is that they've done because it didn't get them the result, or it did get them the temporary result, but they couldn't stick with it. And that's always the missing link in the equation. Always.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember the exact quote from Atomic Habits, but I think it is, you are the result of your current daily habits. So if you don't like the current version of yourself, or you want to be a better version of your current self, then you have to change your daily habits in order to make the changes necessary to get to where you want to be.
That builds off the growth that you're talking
Yeah.
about too. Like you have to be a little bit uncomfortable to make some changes. Like if what you were doing was working, you wouldn't need help, but everybody needs help sometimes. You got to keep going with it, You just do.
Yeah. I think we all need help, right? Like let's talk about why somebody would come to us, right? So really they're coming to us because they have something that they want to accomplish, right? But people will come in for a fitness program because one, they either don't have the knowledge that they need to put together a fitness program. They're afraid they would get hurt, or they need somebody to push them. I think we all fall into I need somebody to push us from time to time. Like, I know when I've got somebody that's training me, I'm going to work a lot harder than when I'm training by myself.
Right.
It's human nature, right? And so everybody needs that. But some people come in and they might know what they need to do. We know what we need to do, but we still need somebody pushing us and challenging us from time to time. Yeah. A lot of people come in, they're like, I don't know what to do, and I just need to be told what to do, and coached through it so I don't get hurt. Okay. So those are kind of the two. Anything else? Any other? Am I missing? Like, why else would somebody come to us?
No,
lack of equipment, but other than that kind of falls into it.
Yeah. Right. The thing there is, I won't do it by myself. Right. So people come because they're like, okay, I don't know what to do. I need somebody to push me. I won't do it by myself. And that's the key, right? That's the kicker. The same things should apply to nutrition. Maybe you know what you should do, but in my experience, most people don't. They think they do, but like you were saying, Brandy, it's an eye-opening experience for people when they actually log what they eat, right? So they don't know what they need to do. They don't know how to put it together in a way that's going to maximize their results. Right. And so there's lots of diets out there. Right. But what works for one person might not work for another. And so you need that individualized approach. Right. And then the other piece of it is the accountability piece. Like, I know what I need to do. It's structured in such a way that now I've got like somebody walking me through it. It's customized for me. That's not enough. Right. Just like with the workout component. Okay. Like, it's not enough. It's not enough. That accountability piece is the key piece. Right. And so it's almost like, working out is 3% of your week. The nutrition, I don't know, like how many meals you're eating. We could do the math and figure that out. But what percentage of your week is that? Accountability is 100% of your week. And so in order for you to get the results, you have to have that. Mm-hmm. In a program that doesn't go all the way, or if you're someone that's like, well, I just need this piece of it, you're probably not going to get the results. A few are. Mm-hmm. A few, that's all they really do need. Yeah. It's not the majority.
Right. And we'll do a good job of, coaching you when you come in for your workout, and coaching you through the nutrition piece and holding you accountable, checking in on you, making sure that you have the support system. We are part of that support system that you need to coach you through, the nutrition piece, the working out piece, can talk about the other things, the sleep, the mindset, all of those pieces that come into play that really will get you to where you want to see the changes that you want to see.
They're building blocks. They don't start with all together. You got to build off of it. The working out is the first one that you go to, and then you have to incorporate all the other ones to really get to the end goal or that main result, and celebrate the journey along the way. Celebrate the little victories, being able to change, being able to go to sleep a little bit earlier, being able to eat not in front of the TV. Those are all things that are going to help you get towards your goal.
Yeah. And like, Brandy, so to walk somebody through what the program should look like, right? So we have a 12-week nutrition program, right? There's some lifestyle things as well. Step one is when somebody comes in and meets with me, it's like, all we're going to do for this first week is work out. Right. That's it. That's all I want you to focus on. In week 2, you're going to work out and you're going to log everything that you eat. You're just going to journal it. So all we have is just like work out and journal your food. Then in week 3, nutrition consultation. Mm-hmm. Like, let's see what it is that you were eating. and which is again, an eye-opening experience. And then meet with you and come up with a plan of, okay, here are the steps that now we're going to go through for the next 12 weeks to build out the perfect day for you and your routines, your habits, and your nutrition plan.
Right.
And we start one habit at a time and build upon there.
Yeah, it's habit-based. It's simple. We aren't going to overwhelm you with like tons of things to focus on and to change right away. We'll focus on small daily habits that are achievable. And when you achieve that goal, that daily habit, then we'll focus on the next thing and just keep like the building blocks, like you said, CJ, just keep stacking them one on top of another. And then before you know it, your routine becomes a habit. From the moment you get up to the moment you go to bed, you know what to do. You're supported. You're held accountable, and you'll see the result. It's not stressful.
You don't struggle with it anymore,
right?
And that's the thing is people are willing to always. They never have enough money to try the right solution, but they always have enough money to try the wrong solution. Right. And it's like, why are you struggling with this? Why are you only going 3% of the way? Just go a little bit further for 12 weeks and then you're not going to struggle with this anymore.
Right.
Right. And and you get the result right. And then like, think of the weight off your shoulders when it's like, hey, I got this. It's no big deal.
Right.
It's habit.
And because you are establishing those habits, it's not like after the 12 weeks, then everything stops and you go back to where you were before. No, it's you've established those habits that will continue beyond those 12 weeks into, the rest of your life.
You made that change in normalcy, which is what we want to do with anything, working out, eating, sleeping, make it all a habit.
You're not going to lose 60 pounds in 12 weeks. And if you do, it's not going to be healthy.
Right. Or not sustainable.
It's not sustainable, right? You're going to gain it all back. If you do, it's not about that. It's about setting yourself up. If every time you came in and did a weigh-in and a check-in and you had lost 3-4 pounds of body fat and gained a pound of muscle mass, every time that's going to feel really, really good. And that's what we're looking for is those sustainable, slow, steady results that end in you being a whole new person and never struggling with it again. Right. So don't just do 3%. Go a little bit further. That's it.
We'll help you get there.
That's all I got for you guys. I'm done. I'm done ranting. You got me all fired up. So I'm going to go change some lives.
God gives us what we need. It may not be what we want. And it can be the same from your trainers when you're getting exercises.
Be back with you next week with more great stuff. Thank you so much for listening to the Healthy Living Scottsdale podcast. Do you have a question that you'd like for us to answer live on the podcast? If so, all you need to do is head over to the Apple Podcast app on your iPhone and do 3 simple things. First, leave us a rating and review telling me what you think of the podcast. In that review, ask anything you want related to health, fitness, or nutrition. And if you want a shout out, leave us your Instagram handle or name. That's all you have to do. Then listen to hear your questions answered live on the next Q&A episode.